Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. Testing, testing, 1 2. There we go. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. I know I was kind of going for a little bit there, and apparently there was no audio. Had to fix something on my settings. I shouldn't have had to have fixed it because it should have been the same from the last time we were recording and doing our Let's Laugh. But that being said, hello, ladies and gentlemen, everybody in between and beyond. My name is Jordy Coleman. You can call me Ginger Wolf. And welcome to our feature of Louie Anderson. Now, Louie Anderson is a personal favorite stand-up comedian of mine. In my personal opinion, he is very unsung and underrated, especially when it comes to the world of heavier set stand-up comedians. Circa his time, he was kind of overshadowed by guys like Chris Farley, John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, who was technically a chubbier guy at one point, especially during the Ghostbusters era and things of that nature. Just because he wasn't quite as squat as John Belushi, a lot of people didn't really take him for being more heavier set, but he was. And then, of course, you cut to nowadays, or at least closer to the end of Louie Anderson's career. And speaking of which, R.I.P. Louie Anderson, because he did pass away in 2022. Unfortunately, and he is somebody, I will say, that the world definitely got less funny with him. So, I think that's important to say. And nowadays, I feel like he kind of got overlooked because of comedians like Gabriel Iglesias, Bert Kreischer to a lesser extent, because Bert Kreischer, let's face facts, he is a heavier set comedian. He's definitely got more of a beer belly than being just a heavier set guy. Of course, to me, the king of chubby comedians, Jean Panette, I think he's one of the best heavier set comedians. Of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention John Candy in that, because I feel John Candy, he got his dues, but people have kind of forgotten about him, especially Camp Candy. Do you guys remember the show Camp Candy? Where it was a cartoon series kind of in the same vein of Life with Louie and Bobby's World. It was a really good show, and you could tell John Candy really liked doing the show, because John Candy was all about being great to kids and being kind to kids and essentially just letting kids be kids. So I feel like that was definitely very strong in his wheelhouse. And speaking of Life with Louie, that might be one of the things. If you recognize Louie Anderson, you probably recognize him from Life with Louie, maybe the Louie Show. Or if you're like me, around my age, in your later 30s, and you remember being sick from school, especially in high school, and watching the old game shows on TV, you remember him as one of the hosts from Family Feud. And although I do wonder, speaking of those types of game shows, they're still going. Like, a lot of them are still going. And he wasn't a host for very long. Like 1999 to 2002, that's not a very long run for a game show host, especially like Howie Mandel for the Deal or No Deal. That was like, what, a decade? And then you look at other guys like Bob Barker on The Price is Right. He was on that show for freaking ever. Pat Sajak from Wheel of Fortune, Alex Trebek from Jeopardy. Like, it seems like a lot of times once you get on one of those shows, you're pretty much there for life. But Louie Anderson was just he just comes across as an extremely friendly person. Like he comes across as the type of person where you'd be just as happy sitting down having a cup of coffee with him at a cafe or sitting at a bar having a beer with him at a bar. How many times can I say bar in one sentence? Apparently twice. But he just comes across as a genuinely nice guy. And there aren't a ton of comedians that really come across as just genuinely nice. And speaking of underrated comedians as well, another comic I am very much looking forward to, where Louie Anderson got his start, was on the Rodney Dangerfield show, when Rodney Dangerfield used to have one of the first live stand-up comedy television shows. And a ton of comedians got their start on there, Louie Anderson being one of them. The only thing I think Louie Anderson was really missing when it comes to his set, because he's really funny. And speaking of his set, I was trying to find something a little more recent than he was in. This special is from 1988. So definitely not very recent. So yeah, this special is almost as old as the moon landing. So just to give you an idea of about how long ago this special was originally out. Anyway, that all being said, let's get into his Wikipedia page. Oh yeah, so I was gonna say, I think about the only thing that would have helped, at least as far as material is having that catchphrase of a piece of material. If you know it, like I kind of refer to it as like the greatest hits of a stand-up comedian. Like we always remember that one big hit from a musician like George Thorogood. We always remember Bad to the Bone, even though the guy put out so many albums and did so many different songs. Queen, everybody knows We Are the Champions, and Another One Bites the Dust. Elton John, everybody knows Crocodile Rock and Saturday Night and stuff like that. You know, every musician has that one big hit that as soon as it comes on, as soon as somebody references it, you know exactly what they're talking about. Comedians do that too. There are comedians that do that as well. Bert Kreischer, of course, has the machine. Nowadays, I guess you would call them viral bits. But Bert Kreischer has I Am the Machine. Ron White has I Was Thrown Out of a Bar in New York City. Rodney Dangerfield had Take My Wife. Or I Get No Respect. But like more the no respect thing. Jesus Christ, he even literally made a rap song about that. Not kidding. Look it up. Or wait until we talk about Rodney Dangerfield, because I will definitely be showing that, because it is hilariously bad. And of course Jeff Foxworthy with his redneck shtick, which, on the subject of Jeff Foxworthy has a lot of really good material that's not about being a redneck. He kind of gets dismissed as being a redneck comedian, and he definitely is, I'm not going to deny that. But he has so much other good material about just being a dad, being a husband, you know, stuff like that. That I find it frustrating, and I think it's fair to say he's probably frustrated about the fact that he doesn't really get that kind of recognition. Anyway, totally off topic. Let's get back focused here, because Louie Anderson's Wikipedia page is not all that long. The biggest part of it is actually his like TV stuff and whatnot. So, and a little bit on his books here. Anyway, so let's get into his Wikipedia page, and then we can get on to the special. So, Louis Perry Anderson, born March 24th, 1953, passed away January 21st, 2022. Now, I'm guessing as a comedian, he probably tried to pass away on the 22nd of January. Just saying, because if I was a comedian, it would be awesome to pass away on January 22 of 2022. He was an American stand-up comedian, actor, author, game show host. He created the cartoon series Life with Louie, which I do highly recommend, especially if you get a kick out of kids having more adult voices in cartoons and stuff like that. Because he didn't put on a voice, he just voiced the character, and it was supposed to, like, it was the younger him. So there was no voice or anything, and it kind of made it instantly funny when you first watch it. It gave it a good hook of being like, I kind of want to watch this just to see what happens here. And the television sitcom The Louie Show, and wrote 4 books, including Hey Mom, Stories for My Mother, But You Can Read Them Too, which was published in 2018. Anderson was the 3rd host of the game show Family Feud from 1999 to 2002, the first host in its 3rd run. For his performance on the FX comedy series Baskets, Anderson received 3 consecutive Primetime Emmy Awards Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series nominations, and won once in 2016. And actually, when he was getting that award, I was very close to using that as the thumbnail for this video. However, the only versions I could find were like teeny tiny little versions. And when I was trying to fix it, they were setting, like, when I was doing the little bit of Photoshop work that I do for the thumbnails on these, it was giving me a headache just looking at all the pixelation on it. It almost looked like it was like they were trying to censor it, because that's how pixelated it looked. So yeah, so I decided not to go with that one. I ended up going with the one that I ultimately did, and I think I made a good choice. I find it kind of funny that it's the first thumbnail I've ever made, where me and the person in the thumbnail almost have the same expressions on our faces. So I thought that was kind of cool. Anderson performed a stand-up show called Louie Larger Than Life in Las Vegas, Nevada from 2003 through 2012, the original show at the Union Plaza Hotel downtown, before moving to Excalibur South Point in Palace Station Hotels. That is, I will say, not being able to ever see Louie Anderson live is very disappointing to me, because you'll see, but he has a way with stand-up that is beautifully unique to him. Like, you'll see. I don't want to give away too much, because I don't know if the joke that's in my brain is in this special or not, and if it is, I don't want to spoil it. Anderson was born and raised in St. Paul, Minnesota, the son of Ora Zella. I wonder what his mom... Anyway, sorry, I was thinking of, like, that's a really interesting name. Anyway, from 1912 to... She lived from 1912 to 1990, a Mayflower descendant with Louie William Anderson, 1901, 1980 to 1980. Interesting, there is like a 9-year age gap between the two of them. No, more than that. Almost 11 years. His father was a trumpeter for singer Conroy Clemencine. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right, nor do I know who that is. Anderson was the second youngest of 11 children in his family. Jesus. Holy crap, 11 kids in your family? Not surprising that somebody became the funny one out of that clusterfuck. Holy shit. You gotta do something to fucking get your parents' attention when they have 11 kids. Holy shit. In 2026 interview on What the Fuck with Mark Rude, Anderson revealed that his mother actually gave birth to 16 children, but 5 of them, the first baby and 2 sets of twins, died at birth. Anderson described his father as abusive and an alcoholic. Yeah, this little part right here, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This little part right here, that is essentially the recipe of a stand-up comedian. That is the recipe to a stand. Growing up in a household where you have to stick out, having somebody in your family that is somehow sick, and it can be a multitude of different things. It can be alcoholism, drug abuse. It can be something as commonplace as depression and things like that. But this right here, that is the epitome of the recipe of a stand-up comedian. Right there. Louie made his first movie appearance along Dabrini Coleman in the movie Cloak and Dagger as Taxi Driver Number 2, released in July 13th, 1984. Dyslexia kicking in there. Sorry, I'm a little tired. A notably small role with one line. So we can go through a bunch of this. I kind of wanted to go to this part here. In 1995, Anderson created and produced a Saturday morning animated series for Fox called Life with Louie. The series was based off of Anderson's childhood with 10 siblings, a sweet-hearted mother, and a loud, war-crazed father. It is also detailed how he was picked on for his weight and how he used comedy to deal with the teasing. The show was a 3-year hit on Fox and won 2 Daytime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Performance in an Animated Program. Anderson created and starred in the Louie Show for CBS. The show had Anderson playing a psychotherapist in, I am going to butcher the name of this place, Duluth, Minnesota. The show ran 6 episodes and was canceled. That's always a shame. I hate when shows don't really get like a fair shake. Anderson landed a role of hosting the new version of the Family Feud in 1998. Anderson asked the former Feud host Richard Dawson to appear on the premiere show to give him his blessing, but Dawson declined. Anderson organized a 9/11 themed tournament week. Sorry, apparently new tongue. Tournament week of Family Feud between the Fire Department of New York and the New York Police Department, putting up $75,000 towards both organizations for recovery from the September 11th, 2001 attack. Anderson was let go from the show for 2001 and replaced by Richard Karn. In 2000, Anderson appeared as a panelist on the episode To Tell the Truth, hosted by John O'Hurley. And in 2001, Anderson appeared in an episode of The Weakest Link, winning $31,000. And he made appearances on network television in Scrubs, Grace Under Fire, Touched by an Angel. I actually think I remember that Touched by an Angel episode, to be completely honest. Chicago Hope. He guest starred on the Adult Swim cameo-filled show Tom Goes to the Mayor. Anderson played in the 2006 World Series of Poker main event in Las Vegas, Nevada. Anderson was also in Joey TV series. I thought my grammar was bad. That's bad grammar on Wikipedia there. Yeah, little known thing about Louie Anderson. He was actually a really good poker player as well. I predominantly know this because if you watch my show, or if you watch my channel and check out my Let's Plays, hint, hint, plug, plug, I do play a bit of poker now and then on the series, which is I have fucking tons of fun doing that. But because I'm a comedian, a fan of comedy, and a fan of poker, I knew he was a poker player. And there's actually, again, I don't want to spoil things, although I'm pretty sure this was well after that special aired. But there was a thing where he actually had standing credits where he could actually go to most casinos in Vegas and ask for a line of credit so that he could gamble without having any money on him. Which I'm not addicted to gambling because for me I really hate losing money. If you've ever heard the expression don't play with more than what you're willing to lose, that is my mantra when it comes to playing poker, and most of the time I'm not willing to lose anything. So I don't usually play for real money. Once in a while I'll play a friendly game with some friends, and we'll do maybe at very most a $50 buy-in. Usually we keep it around 20. But in as much as I'm usually coming out on top when it comes to friendly games, I still don't like the idea of losing money, so I do my best to not play for actual money. This is how I know I'm not a gambling addict. In as much as I really enjoy playing poker, I just can't justify losing $20, $30, $40, $50, $100 or more. Now, maybe if I had more money in my pocket, maybe I'd be willing to lose a little more. But as it sits right now in my life, I am not. But yeah, he actually has a story about taking out a line of credit at a place because he had to pay something back. And so he literally took the line of credit, played poker until he basically made more than what he owed the person, paid back the line of credit, and ended up, which is, I mean, that takes balls right there. Having enough confidence in yourself going, I could probably win this in poker. I'll just go to the closest casino and take a line of credit out. That is so funny. Anyway, Anderson filmed a stand-up special, Louie Anderson, Big Baby Boomer. In it, Anderson poked fun at his bad habits, pesky family members, and aging body. Which, that's actually there's a funny thing in one of his and it might actually be the special that they're talking about. And seeing as I know it's a much older or a much more recent special than the one we're gonna watch, I will kind of spoil it, but I'm gonna kind of ruin the bit because I don't remember exactly what it is. But he's talking about going out to eat with his friends, and he's now become that guy in your circle of friends. And if you're older, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Do they have soup? I can digest the soup. That guy, he talks about being that guy. The way he does it is fucking great. In 2013, Anderson appeared on the ABC reality TV show series Splash after practicing several dives into a swimming pool, then nearly drowning. He needed help getting out from co-star football player. I'm not even going to try to pronounce. I have a hard enough time with English, as you guys know. I'm not going to try to pronounce that guy's name. I'm sorry. Anderson signed on as a promotional spokesman for his home state, Land O'Lakes Sweet Cream Butter brand. That is a brand. There's no other way I could put that. Anderson appeared in radio jingles, web ads, television commercials promoting and television commercials promoting the product. From 2016 to 2019, Anderson played part in Chinese baskets Christine Baskets on the FX comedy series Baskets. Anderson won the 2016 Primetime Emmy Award. We already covered that. On July 23rd, 2017, Anderson completed competed on an episode of Celebrity Family Feud hosted by Steve Harvey. By the way, for the record, not a huge fan of Steve Harvey. I really do not like the way he has a tendency. He's starting to come across as an almost diva-esque Bill Cosby. Before the whole Bill Cosby controversy thing, Bill Cosby had this thing about where he was talking about how if black people don't want to be treated the way they did, they should pull up their pants and do this other shit and stuff like that. And it that annoyed me enough. Steve Harvey's kind of generally just talking to people like that. And it's actually kind of starting to piss me, it was starting to piss me off, like, in 2019. It's really starting to annoy me now, especially where he's talking about, like, how certain people don't deserve certain things and certain people deserve certain things. And, like, he's not putting labels to any of those things, so most people are willing to let it slide. But it becomes one of those, like, you're trying to be, he's almost trying to be a motivational speaker, but he's doing it backwards. Instead of being like, you can be successful if you just put your mind into it and stuff like that, it's more like, here's why you're not successful. And it's like, that sure has its own merits, sure. I'm not gonna get into it. Look up some of his stuff, and I think you'll some of the stuff where he's talking before Family Feud, and I think you'll kind of understand it. And if you've seen what I'm talking about, you probably have an idea of what I'm talking about there. Let's skip over this part. So his stand-up style, Dennis Miller called him one of the lightest on his feet comedians I know. There are very few guys I'm going to leave my dressing room early to watch. Louie has a Fred Astaire with a broken leg approach. Very quick thinking, and he wouldn't hammer points home, but he would do a wave back that was almost Pulp Fiction-like. In his personal life, in 1984, Anderson married Danny Jane Vono. However, they divorced after 4 months. In 1985, Anderson married his high school sweetheart, Norma J. Walker. The marriage lasted only 4 weeks. That's kind of sad. Although, that does kind of harken to the saying that I hear a lot of people saying, unlucky at love, lucky at cards. Blackmailing incident. In 1997, Anderson was blackmailed by Richard John Gordon, I do not know who that is, who threatened to tell tabloids that Anderson sexually propositioned him in a casino in 1993. Between 1997 and 1998, Anderson paid Gordon $100,000 in hush money, fearing that the story would threaten his starring role in 2 family-oriented series. But when Gordon demands increased to $250,000, in 2000, Anderson's lawyers informed federal authorities Gordon, who was 31 at the time, was arrested after leading the FBI agents on a high-speed chase along Santa Monica Boulevard. Gordon was fined and sentenced to 21 months in prison. So that kind of tells me that it was probably bullshit, and he was just trying, and people will do that. Like, that's kind of why, ultimately, I do think the Me Too movement was a good thing. More good than bad, but this does kind of show a little bit of the bad side of what could happen on the negative side of things. Like I say, mostly good, but people will use stuff like this to try and extort money out of famous people. And it's bullshit. And, for doing that kind of thing, absolutely. I would say that he should also have to pay the $100,000 back. Just saying. On January 18th, 2022, it was announced that Anderson had been hospitalized in Las Vegas for large B cell lymphoma. He had first been diagnosed with cancer a decade earlier, but kept the information private. Anderson died of complications from the cancer 3 days later on January 21st, 2022, at the age of 68. That's sad. And I'm not going to go through all of his stuff, but let's kind of go through. He was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, some of the bigger things that he was in. Coming to America, that's cool. That's cool. I didn't know he was in that. I haven't seen Coming to America. Oh, that's the sequel to Coming to America. I haven't seen the sequel of Coming to America. I hate when sequels do that kind of thing where they just swap out one of the words for the number two. It's like, oh, this is the sequel. That bugs me because when you're talking to somebody about the movie, it's like, which two are you talking about, the original or the sequel? The New Hollywood Squares, Grace Under Fire, Life with Louie, of course, The Louie Show, Chicago Hope, Rodney Dangerfield's 75th birthday toast. Oh, fuck, man, I'd love to find a copy of this. If anybody knows where to find a copy of this, please, for the love of God, let me know. Touched by an Angel, Hollywood Squares, as himself, Family Feud, To Tell the Truth, Ally McBeal, Nash Bridge, Scrubs, VIP. I kind of want to see what he looked like in VIP because that's one of those. I can't picture it at all. Joey, The Grim Adventures of Bill and Mandy, interesting. Tom Goes to the Mayor, Pickle and Peanut Butter, Baskets, Drunk History. Apparently he played Winston Churchill in that. That I could see it. I could definitely see it. Funny You Should Ask, Long Island Medium, as himself. Okay, I want to see that episode. I'm not a fan of Long Island Medium, but I kind of want to see that episode just to see Louie Anderson in it. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Young Sheldon? I did not know he was in Young Sheldon. That's wild. And of course, video games, Family Feud 2000 as himself. Then his books were Dear Dad, Letters from an Adult Child, a collection of letters to his father. Goodbye Jumbo, Hello Cruel World, a self-help book for those struggling with self-esteem issues. Kind of actually want to check that out. The F Word, How to Survive Your Family, 49 Survival Family Tips. Really want to read that book too. Hey Mom, Stories from Your Mother, Stories for My Mother, but you can read them too in 2018. Like I said, I am saddened that his Wikipedia page is so short. But at the same time, because it was so short, even though we've been going for quite a while, I think it's time for us to get into the comedy special in and of itself. So, let's start playing Louie Anderson's stand-up.
Flew here? Yeah? Flying? Everybody hates flying, don't they? Because you're all thinking of the same thing. Well, we're either going to get there or we're not. You know what I mean? You go down in that plane, you know it's not going to miss the ground. The ground's not going to open up. Yeah, oh, Jesus, it opened up! We're on Venus. Think we'll get the luggage? Because you do, you go up to that counter, you're a wimp. You go, yeah, is there any chance I'll make it? I hate that. Worse than flying those, taking people to the airport. You always have to be tricked into it. You ever notice that? Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? Nothing. Good, could you give me a ride to the airport? Well, what time's the flight leave? 6 a.m. I like to get there an hour early, so pick me up, say 4. You get up at 4, you leave your slippers on out of defiance. I'm not putting shoes on. I don't care if there are bunnies on these slippers. You're out there driving at 4 a.m. People are coming home from parties. Going to the airport, Louie! You turn down their street. They're all cheerful. They're out on the boulevard doing the hula, you know? They're going to Hawaii. Get in! They always try to cheer you up. Well, at least there's no traffic. Good, maybe they won't find your body. You get to the airport at 5 a.m., now you're all wound up. Where can I go? The only thing open is 7-Eleven. Hi, how are you? I was at the airport. Police are looking, what the hell's wrong with that guy? Oh, leave him alone, Bill. Christ, he's been to the airport. How do you know? Christ, look at his shoes. Yeah, airports are no fun. I never asked anyone to take a cab. Never check your bags. I had a horrible nightmare. I lost my bags once. Pee Wee Herman had my underwear. Running down a terminal. Give me those. And no matter where I go, somebody can beat my ticket price. Do you have that friend? Went to London, Louie? What'd you pay for those tickets? $600. Huh. I went there for $2. Airfare, car, hotel, everything. And security at the airlines. No one feels secure. Don't you ever want to go behind there with them and go, hey, come here. Check that guy again. And they can't, though, because they're too busy with some guy from Texas going, it must be my buckle. And my gate's always gate 80. Are we there yet? And you get to the gate early, because you listen to the airlines. Get there early. Going Monday? Go down there Sunday. You get there an hour early. The only people there are you and a guy cleaning up, you know? You feel so stupid. Big donkey ears pop up in your... You ever get donkey ears? You only get them when you're cocky about something. Like if you're going towards a door and it's a push and you pull, or a pull and you pull. Somebody always is right behind you, jackass. Oh. Then you have to go down that tunnel to the plane. No one ever comes back. There's always that flight attendant at the other end going, come back to Jamaica. And the closer you get to the door of the plane, the dumber you become. By the time you reach that flight attendant, you can't even read your seat number. Is that a 9? Is that in the plane? Do you have any idea where it is? Thank you. And somebody always pushes you when you're trying to get on the plane. Like they're... You always want to rear back and go, watch it! You know that thing your brother would do to you? Stop it, lady. We're all going to take off at the same time now. get to your seat, you're so happy, you put the stuff up above. No matter what, if you're the first person on the plane, it's full. Whose is this stuff? The airlines, they know how to relax you, don't they? They bring you peanuts. You're happy to see them. Oh, peanuts. Oh. I'm safe now. It's true, those peanuts are important. Have they ever passed you by and forgotten about you? The non-peanut section? Paying $600 for these. Peanuts. They finally give them to you, they throw them at you. Oh. Well, at least we got them. Sometimes they'll bring you another bag. Huh? Oh, no, 4 peanuts is enough for me. You ever lay them on the tray table next to you? That drives that person crazy. You gonna eat those? I might. I'm not sure. You ever get in the wrong seat? That's a horrible thing. Because people don't say you're in my seat. They make sounds now. You're trying to get settled and they go, I'm sorry, am I in your seat? You ever have a baby by you? In front of you, crying? You have your baby? Was that the baby on the flight down here? Did you know, it feels so sorry for the mother because she's looking at the baby and going, you know, I've never hit you before, but there's 300 people who want me to beat you right now. So you gotta shut up. And they always look over at the seat. You remember? They never have control of their neck, you know? Babies always make that sound. That's a good sound to make, really. Anyone bothering you? Just do that to them. What the hell does that mean? All right, get out of here now. That noise. Who's responsible for him? Get him. You know, you're throwing peanuts in the baby's mouth. Come on. Come on. I like first class. That's great up there. On the plane first, off the plane first. No peanuts up there, almonds. That's right, or cashews too. That's right. They always close that curtain on everybody in coach. I always feel sorry for them, you know. I always keep them up on what's going on, though. We're eating now. Hey, this is sturdy stuff, huh? What? Yeah, I like these shoes. I got them at a bowling alley. I don't know. I think it's the name of the place, FV. It's the name of the place. I'm not sure. But I said, hey, these are nicer than my shoes. No, I paid for them. My mom always runs all the Christmas stuff. The potluck dinners, do you guys have those? Yeah, everybody brings food. Somebody always brings that lime green Jell-O. My mom comments on what everybody brings to the potluck, too. Oh, look. The Johnsons brought chips. They're rich, you know. Hey, Mom, the Hendersons are on the phone. What do you want them to bring? Oh, just tell them to come. They're real poor. They're all on dope. Freezing. People die in this cold weather, don't they? Spring comes, that snow melts. Gee, there's Earl. Never made it home from that party. Those are good gloves. And cars don't work in this weather. You ever notice how you treat your car? You're so nice to it. You talk to it before you go. Okay, I'm going in the house now. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Start for me, all right? Okay? See you tomorrow. Here, I'll put a blanket on you. Good night. You get up the next morning, look out. Oh, that freezing weather. I can't go out. You warm up. You ever notice how you kind of warm up? Huh? Going out to try the car. I hope it starts. Hello. How are you? Mind starting? Yeah. Should have got those covers. Everybody has their own system, too. You never know. Your dad teaches that. Now just pump it twice and halfway down again. 1, 2, and halfway down. You go 3, you'll flood it out. 1, 2. Well, you don't want to try it all the way, do you? Okay, I'm going to try it now. You start talking to the car. Oh, come on, baby, please. Okay, give you another half. Okay. Please start. Please start. Please start. Please start. Piece of junk! Go in the junkyard. Pump this till it floods out. You better start the junk thing out. That horrible noise that knows there's no juice left. Hey, could I use your jumper cables? Our cables? Take the kids. Or else they give you the one with the end missing. You ever have those? Because people love their jumper cables. They'll show them to you. Look at these. Look at the teeth on these things. I'm thinking about taking these home with me next year. And you'll ask anyone to help you. Do you ever notice that? Hey, lady, come over here. Lady, get in the car. Just turn it when I... Okay, I'm going to hold this on. Okay, and they're in there, and they can't hear you, and they're in there going, should I try it? Should I start it now? Should I try it? Should I try it? Should I pump it? Should I start it now? Should I try it? Should I start... Come on, where's this thing to blow? Because you got that end, holding it on there, and all you can think of is, sometimes batteries just blow up. My car won't start. People call you, what are you doing? My car won't start. My car, that car, it won't start. You ever call a station? What? Hey, Bill, guy wants us to come out and start his car today. Are you a millionaire? My dad used to get so mad and desperate, he would take charcoal, break the barbecuer's legs off, put charcoal in it, start it, get it good and hot, and put it under the motor. And he didn't want me to do drugs. Oh, you will go out in cold weather, though. You ever notice that if you're out of something? Well, my convenience store is open down the block. I might be able to get there in 3 seconds. You get to the store, there's 50 people in there. Hi, how you doing? Got any jumper cables? Let's either stay there, eat another burrito, and die. Why do we eat those things? There's no expiration date on it. Geez, is that a burrito near Earl there? Still good. And the people that work at those convenience stores, I don't go in there sounding like them. But by the time you leave, what do you want? What? What you got? What? We got Slurpee. Well, what size you got? Well, we got this size. And then we got that 55-gallon drum. Well, what's the difference in price? A nickel. Well, there you are with that barrel. You feel so stupid. People are looking at you. Well, what would you do, lady? It was a nickel difference. Can't you see him training these guys in the big auditorium? All right, repeat after me. What do you want? All right, report to work Monday. You put people behind counters, they're out of it. Like kids that work at fast food places. Yeah, can I get a couple burgers, a fry, and a Coke? Cindy, get up here, I'm swamped. You know what's worse? The worst job, that photo mat job. Where do these people take breaks? What, do they shut that window and duck down in there? Have you ever gotten out of the car to check? Hey, are you in there? Huh? Yeah, I'm on my break. Could you get the hell out of here? What a boring job, huh? After the first 5 seconds, you've seen the entire store. You know they look through your pictures. I went up there one time, I didn't even have to give her my name. She went, here. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be from the Midwest. Like other places, you know, are not as nice, you know that. We have our share of weather problems, though. In the summer, we have the tornadoes. That's always a big issue with people, those tornadoes. They always say, there's a tornado warning. There's a warning. That's really good to know. Warning. What does that mean? They're unspotted, just, you know, they could show up. Should we go out? There's a warning. As long as you're not in a mobile home, I don't think you have anything to worry about. Right? That's why they call them mobile homes, you know. Well, we used to live over there, and then there was moved. It took us a half hour to move. You always see that piece of straw through. That's the story you hear from your dad. Oh, Christ, that storm was so bad. Piece of straw right through a tree. Even if you saw that, you wouldn't believe it. Where is that? That's a hole. Someone put that in there. Yeah, people are bad. And the hurricanes, people that live in those areas. They warn those people, but it doesn't seem to matter, you know. Hey, hurricane coming, 300-mile-an-hour winds. No, we're gonna stick it out. I got plastic on the windows here. You always see him afterwards, the house is dilapidated. The only thing left is a Sony TV, you know. Well, we're gonna rebuild. The Trinitron's okay. We're gonna stay with some friends up in Minnesota. They got a trailer home. I think it's because we rename the hurricanes every year. Hey, Hurricane Charlie's coming. Hey, was Charlie here yet? No? It's not that damn Donna, is it? Or floods. That's another thing I've never understood. Why would you want to live in a flood area? After the first time, don't you get it? You can always recognize those people. They got those watermarks up here. And in the town, there's always that plaque, 1965, you know? It's a horrible thing, those things. And there's always those 4 people when the cameras come in, they're on the roof of a house, you know? We made it! Hey, what channel will we be on? You know, and they got the keg up there. They're having a good time. There's always that one dog, too. Do you ever notice that? Oh, Christ. Where's my house? You never see any cats? Oh, Christ, there's a storm coming. Let's get the hell out of here. And you see those people with the boat at their house? The front door, they got the boat. How you doing? Yeah. Oh, we're doing all right. Nothing on the second floor is damaged. Honey, I told you the boat would come in handy. It's amazing to me why you go through that stuff. But I live in California. You know, people always do this. When you go to California, they always call you and go, Louie, yeah, we're thinking about coming out and visiting you. Yeah? Well, think again. When they come out, I always do 2 things. Buy them tickets to Disneyland and Universal Tours. That's the big thing out there, Disneyland. Everybody loves that, Disneyland. I think it's boring, too. You know what would have been great is when you're on drugs when you're a kid. Remember that? That big Mickey comes at you. Hey. Look at that thing. Hey, get that Goofy thing out of here. Hey, that Goofy's teeth are moving. And Universal Tours, that's kind of boring, you know, they have that big King Kong that comes down, oh, you know, and you're going, get out. Get out of here, King Kong. It would scare you, though, if it reached down and grabbed someone, wouldn't it? Hey! Come on now, this isn't funny. And then at the end it went. I mean, I don't want the person eating, but you slid down the thing, it would scare you. People would be lining up from here to, you know, Europe to get in that. I hear the thing swallows a person. I gotta see that. That's where you'd have your dad sit, isn't it? Dad, why don't you sit there? Hey, why don't you have Mom hold your wallet, Dad? Because you'd pay big money to see your dad up in King Kong's hand, wouldn't you? Oh, cry, pal. God damn it. When you go on vacations, though, people always want you to go place. I was just in Florida. People, are you going to Florida? Oh, go to that stone crab restaurant. Never been there? Melt in your mouth. I don't like stone crabs. Oh, you'll like these. You go to Florida. Go. Have you been there? Because you go to Florida and you don't think you're going to do anything, and then the second day there, you go, what do you want to do? Well, go to that stone crab restaurant. Melt in your mouth. You go over there, and there's 300 people in line. And there's always a person in front of you who wants to talk to you. Yeah, we heard this place is drip. Hey, turn around. Turn around. I'm on vacation to get away from people like you. No, I just thought, hey, turn around. And you get in there, you feel so stupid, they tie that bib on you. You get that bill, 300. Those things were horrible with 300. You walk out of the place, you're disgusted, walk into the street, people are screeching to a halt because you have those bibs on, they think you're with the highway department. You try to get it off and it just pulls like those potato chip bags. Get this thing off! And that's why your friend tells you about that, because they've been there. And so as soon as someone says, they're going to Florida? Going to Florida? Oh, go to that Stone Crab restaurant. I got ripped off. You might as well. You always buy things on vacation you'd never buy anywhere else. You ever notice that? Honey, look, fresh vegetables. I've never seen those before. Look, corn, 12 for $1. Oh my God. Give me $10 worth. It feels so stupid. You have corn. You're in a hotel. You can't cook it. I was just in San Diego. Anybody from San Diego here? Every time you mention San Diego, people go, oh, go to San Diego? Go to that zoo. Like there's something going on there, you know? You'd land in San Diego. Were you going to go to a hotel? No, take us to that zoo. You get there, it's like $50 to get in. I said, lady, we just want to look at the animals. We don't want to take any home with us. And that's a big zoo. Oh, man. You're going to walk in that thing. I started looking at that sign. What's up that hill? Giraffe? I've seen that. But zoos are boring. You know, basically, here's what you do. You go over there. What's over there? What's that? Australian deer. What's this here? New Zealand deer. The same damn deer. Oh my God. Look at that monkey's butt. Is that supposed to be like that? Should we call somebody? You kids, get away from there! Put some Huggies on that thing! Give me the camera. They always have an exotic animal, too. They have the pandas there now, in fact. Everybody, yeah, that's what people do. Pandas. Come on, Louie, pandas. Everybody, come on, there's pandas down there. Come on. And people think, you must think, that animal, huh? He must go, oh, Christ. I'm going in here. I'll put my paw out. There's his paw. That's enough. My dad would have thought he'd be safe anyways, you know, in his car. He loved his car. Who? His Bonneville. It's my Bonneville. He'd introduce it to people. It's my Bonneville. It's my family over there. It's an American-made car. You could drive it head on to a train and live. You gotta try that, Dad. He loved that car, man. Tried to get the car. That was a big deal. You know that? Hey, Dan, I cleaned the garage. I did the lawn. I built that addition. Can I use the Bonneville? Take the Rambler. Oh, it's got a pink door. When I was a kid, we didn't have doors on the cars. And he'd ask you those questions. Where are you going? Around the block. How many kids are going with you? Half a kid. And he give you those keys. He always give you a lecture with it. Now listen, I'm not giving you this car so you can screw it up. Well, then I don't want it. You get the car. You get so goofy when you get a car and you're a kid. I got a car. Let's drive to Europe. You get 300 friends. You're driving anyway. Then you hit that tractor. You didn't even know you're in a field, did you? All your friends leave you. Good luck, Lou. And that guy from the station comes out. Oh, his name's Smitty. They have that look, you know. This your dad's Bonneville? What'd you do, hit a train? Listen, Louie, I know your dad. Why don't you go inland or the hoist? I'll crush your legs. Okay. That's not so bad. Because having to take that car home is horrible, isn't it? You're driving it home and it's scraping the tire. Oh, I'm gonna be killed. You drive the car up in front of the house, your dad's in the window in the silhouette there. You think of Psycho. You park the smash side away from the house, hoping Dean Jones will come out in the middle of the night and put flubber in there. You walk in the house, throw the keys on the table. Why not? They're of no use anymore. You're home awful goddamn early. You better not have screwed up that car. You won't be driving it anymore. Neither will you, but that was a frightening time. I thought, oh no, I'm gonna get killed. It's the first time I thought, oh no, I'm gonna get killed. But I didn't know my dad had a plan. Now I got something to use against you for the rest of your life. Dad, I was thinking about going to college. What? I'm still trying to pay that Bonneville off. Look at that car, what a smash. Oh, it's wrecked complete. Nothing compared to the Bonneville. Then I had to work on it with him. That was a horrible experience. Every Saturday, he'd jack the car up, he'd lay underneath it. My job, hand him tools. Give me the 916. Huh? Here, take them all. The only fun was when he'd hit his knuckle or something underneath there. That tool would come flying out. The 916s, look out! And he'd blame me. Get out of my light! And you look down at that jack and you think, college or prison? Yeah, you thought your dad was tough, though. I always thought my dad was the toughest dad in the neighborhood. Kids were afraid of my dad. They wouldn't come to my house. We'll meet you about a block away. Your dad said he was going to kill me if I cut across the lawn again. So I did anyways. You know, you become aggressive when you drive. You ever notice that?
Yes.
You're driving, you're a nice person, then somebody's going to pass you. Oh, you're going to try and pass me? No, I'm over here now. Oh, you're going to go that way? No, I own the whole road. Oh, no, I'm back. Oh, no. Get your own road. Pass someone else. Do you ever almost hit somebody and you didn't know it? Oh, God. Oh, God. I almost killed that guy. Oh, God. Oh, God, I killed that guy. Oh, here he comes. And they're over next to you at the stoplight going, come on, get out of the car! And your brain's going, go on, Louie, go ahead, look over there. Louie. Louie. Look over there, Louie. Oh, Louie, he's mad. Look over there, Louie. Just glance over there, Louie. Come on. Ooh. I told you he was mad, Louie. And you look over there, and you feel so stupid when you look over there. You have to look, though, don't you? Ooh. You do dumb stuff. As long as you do this, they're satisfied. You ever know? Well, at least he did that, cry. I turn into my dad when I drive. All right. Oh, come on! I have a life! Let's go! Oh, Christ, look at her. Now she's looking in her purse. Would she drop her brain in there? Come on! Oh, now she's gonna park in that. Get out and tell her she won't fit in that spot. Get out there! God damn it. I had a gun, I'd blow her. Let's go, lady! Oh, Christ. And when I get in a car, I get like my dad. I never used to be like that. I get in the car, I sound like him. Christ, if I was the last person on earth, some moron would turn left in front of me. I used to think my dad was crazy for saying that. Now I think you should be able to kill those people. I think you should be able to kill them if they turn left. Not forever, just 10 minutes. They turn left, 10 minutes later they wake up. It must have been a moron. You know who else are bad? People in these malls. They do that mall walk. You know, you're just trying to get to that store over there, and they have the rest of their lives to be in front of you. Hey, could you hurry up? Huh? No, I have the rest of my life to be in front of you. No, you don't. They wake up 10 minutes later. Didn't I see him when I was driving the other day? The worst is at the movie when you're really into a good movie and all of a sudden from behind you hear, oh, this is the part where the guy gets killed. You're right. This is the part where the guy gets killed. Seen any good movies?
Fatal Attraction.
Yeah, that was good. See Spielberg's new movie? Huh? Yeah. Spielberg, remember how hot he used to be? Quick impression of Steven Spielberg, though. 20, 40, 60, 80 million. People in the Midwest talk about that, too. Spielberg, he's got to move money just to get to the toilet. He's so rich. Except for that liberal friend in the kitchen doing the dishes. Yeah, Louie, but do you think he's happy? What? I don't want to see you for 20 minutes. I do a lot of killing in my act. I'm really not for war, although I think we're going to have one. I think the way to cure these wars is to do things like drop M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, in the war zones where they're fighting. Because you know, if you had a gun on someone and those things started falling. Hey! Why should we fight anyways? There's billions of them. Put our guns down for a while. I got a bag in the thing. We'll fill it up. I'll split them with you. About a half hour later, oh. What were we fighting about? I don't know. I'm too sick. There were red ones in there. Because we think in America, we're kind of silly about this idea. We think if the bomb hits, it's going to go, ooh, the United States. And there are people, you know, who think, you know these people that you talk to, oh yeah, if that bomb hits, I hope I'm right in the middle of it. So do I. Yeah. There'll be survivors, you know.
Oh, God.
It'll be horrible. They'll come into town, what the hell happened here? Those Hells Angels have been in town. There'll be comedy afterwards because there'll be survivors, so there'll be clubs. But what will be funny? Imagine working really hard on a joke, get ready to deliver the punchline. All of a sudden, the guy in the front row, his foot falls off. How the hell do you top that? You have to rip your head off and toss it. Oh, that guy's good. Think we'll ever see him again? It'll be horrible. Men won't change. Dating? Well, she's not too badly burned. You'll all be following me. He knows where food is. No more wars. I'm not for that. I'm for banquets. Big potluck dinners. My mom could run them. Oh, look. Russia brought chips. Mom, Ethiopia's on the phone. What do you want them to do? Oh, just tell them to come. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I always hate that when people come back out, you know? You're always ready to go, you know? Okay. Friday night in Chicago. Hey, where's that? Where's that pizzeria Uno? That's my favorite place.
Really?
No, you're inviting me, aren't you? Hey, lady. What's your name? What's your name? Sophie. Oh. Was that your choice to sit up there? Hi, Sophie. Where are you from? Sophie? Poland. Well, thanks for coming in for the show. I love your Pope. He's very good. So how is Poland? Cold up there, too, isn't it? Very. Well, you speak good English. I heard you guys learned that real young. What do you do? A purchasing secretary. You buy the erasers or what? And give me 100 pens. I'm running low. I'm just kidding you, Sophie. See what? Really? Right off the boat? And no, are you an interpreter or do you have your hand in her back? What's your name? Phil. Phil, what do you do, Phil? A what? Facilities coordinator. Yeah, well, I figure we need like 6 urinals. You know, friends are nice until they have too much to drink. You ever notice that? You could have a best friend. 5 drinks is their limit. They have 7. They turn on you. Everything's going around really nice. Everything all of a sudden. They get this look, you know. I'm mad at you. You ever know how drunks sway? And their knees don't lock. And they're defensive about the fact that they can hardly stand up. I'm all right. I like when they try and get philosophical with you, the drunks. Louie, life. Live it. And they pass out. You try to get them out of the bar. They wake up as you're passing the bouncer. Watch it! Or my friend Louie here will kick your ass. And then they always want to drive, no matter how drunk they are. I'm driving. I'm driving. Where's the car? All right, if I'm not driving, I want to eat. Let's go eat. I'm starving. They always want to eat. It's so funny. And when you walk in the restaurant with them, the waitress sees them. Oh, I quit. Because they always come in so loud. Here we are! We're here! Let me sit with you, honey. They always impose on other people. Honey, let me sit with you. Lady! Let me have something that you're eating. Come on, lady. I'm just kidding you, Christ. They make those sounds. I'm drunk. I'm drunk. I'm drunk. I'm drunk. Who's drunk? I'm drunk. That's right. And they order foods that they don't have. Do you have any beets? I want beets. And I was there before they had beets. Beets, 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 beets. All right, here's what I want. Pancakes, French toast, French fries, 2 eggs, corned beef hash, all with gravy on it, and beets on the side. Now. It's so horrible to be with those people, you know. And they always do the same thing. They get their food, they eat 1 French fry. And they stay like that right in their food, you know. Of course, once in a while, just out of nowhere, they mention something. Hey, you got that $5 you owe me? They're so drunk. And they get near like snow or something. Hey, snow, let's make angels in it. Hey, I'm drunk. I'm drunk. I'm sick. I'm sick, you guys. I'm drunk. I'm all right. Damn it. Still mad at you. I don't know why, but I'll think of it soon. Did you bring those beets with? I told her to wrap them up. I'm starving for those things. God damn it. Your whole family screwed our family over. And I'm not kidding either. No, I'm telling you right now, as soon as I figure out what you did, I'm gonna let you have it. That's right. I'm drunk. Hey, wanna go play pool? I'm drunk. Drunk. How you doing? All right. What the hell is down there? What is that, a dime? Yeah, I knew I lost a dime. Your family owes our family an apology. I want it right now. God damn it. I'm drunk. I'm sorry, I'm drunk. I apologize to the United Nations. I'm drunk. Let me just sleep here. I'm really drunk. I'm a little drunk. What? Christ sakes. You guys really messed us all up. We were going along fine. We were winning the whole thing and you turned on us. My sister's Catholic now. Oh, can't believe it. Yeah. Oh, well. You know what they say? You know what, I'll tell you right now. If I had a minute for every time I did it, I'd be happy. All right, we better get going because I got a test in the morning. Maybe I'm a little drunk. Maybe I had a couple beers too much, but you would too if you worked that place I work at. I don't like it. I'm gonna call my boss up right now. Son of a bitch. Hey, Harvey, I'm really mad at you. Harvey? Ah, you chicken shit. Ah. Hey, there's another dime. I'm getting rich. Just remember one thing. Life. Live it.
We are back. That was fucking. I actually. So a lot of times in specials, during specials, I will take notes of just the different things to kind of talk about, and I think about just past the halfway point. I would just kind of was like, nah, I'm enjoying this too much. For those of you who are coming in a little bit late, and for those of you who are watching from the beginning, I did forget to mention I am doing a charity run until February. I posted a link to it in my in the comments if you are interested in possibly donating any money to it or sharing it with somebody who might be able to donate some money to it. It is directly to the charity. I handle zero money. If you have any concerns whatsoever about a YouTuber not being honest with the money, I've specifically made sure that it goes directly to the charity. The amount is hopefully, I can't remember what I have the amount for, but I was, last time I checked, we were past the halfway mark. So very happy to see that. Thank you to everybody who has donated. That being said, you can tell because we read the Wikipedia page beforehand, and you could tell he definitely has nothing but love for his mom. The way he was talking about his mom, even though his mom had, definitely had things of her own. But yeah, I don't think he thought super highly of his father. It is a mark. You can tell a comedian loves a parent if they somehow manage to or you can tell a comedian loves somebody if they somehow manage to put them into their into their material. They either have nothing but love or nothing but disdain for somebody if they end up in their material. Lewis Black is a great example because he exclusively talks about politicians, and I don't think he cares for them, to be completely honest. And to be fair, for most of us anyway, I don't think most of us like politicians. Um, but that being said, I do actually I do have a joke about my mom. If you guys will indulge me, ever so slightly with it. It's basically my mom was a wonderful person. She was, to me, she was an absolute angel. Like, a lot of people talk about how their mother's a saint and stuff like that. I think my mom is better than a saint. As a matter of fact, I have so much love, respect, and admiration for my mom that I decided to start a new religion and name it after her. And you're all welcome to join that religion. Absolutely. Currently, we are fighting. Her name was Judith, and we are fighting with a copyright holder for Judaism. So, it might take a little bit for us to get there, but we'll see. But yeah, no, that was really good. We had George Wallace last month. We have Louie Anderson this month. If you are watching this and you enjoyed somebody just talking about comedians and then watching one of their specials and then talking about them a little bit afterwards, by all means subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing this every month until September, and then in September, fingers crossed, we are going to start doing this weekly. Every Thursday, a brand new comedian to talk about and a brand new comedian to have on here. So, especially considering Comedy Central, there's 100 comedians. We're not even 10 comedians in yet. We got to get the ball rolling. And also, if anybody has any recommendations for comedians that they would like to see featured on here, by all means, yes. I would recommend, if you have somebody in mind, check out Comedy Central's Top 100 Stand-Up Comedians, because we're going to go through all of them. The only thing I ask is, if you are going to recommend a comedian, please also link their special in the comments as well, because we've gotten a little. It's a little hard to find some of the specials here, and so if you are going to recommend somebody, please try to find a special of theirs on YouTube, or at least some sort of free platform that we can enjoy their special on. I'm open to all suggestions, new comedians, old comedians, whatever the case may be. By all means, send them our way. That being said, with this special, I did have a few notes. So first and foremost, he was talking about planes and stuff like that. That was such a fucking 80s thing. Comedians talking about being on airplanes and stuff like that. That was such an 80s and early 90s thing. Like, every comedian was doing it at the time. Every comedian. He was also, I love the fact he kind of harkened back to his mom's, the potluck thing for the UN thing, because at the beginning he was talking about the potluck parties his mom would run. And how many people, just out of curiosity, and if you want to put it in the comments, by all means, please put it in the comments, but how many people had a mom that did potluck parties and stuff like that? My mom was she was the manager / caretaker of the apartment building we lived in when I was growing up. And once a year, she would do a potluck party right before Halloween. And then that way it would kind of be her way of finding out which apartments had kids in them, and that way, if they had like little kids, instead of having to go out and do trick-or-treating outside, especially, we live in Canada, it's cold here, it can get real cold come October. So if they had little kids, instead of going outside and trick-or-treating, the kids could be in the apartment building and just trick or treat inside the apartment building. Like, that was the type of person my mom was, just to give you an idea of why I wanted to write that joke about her. And he was talking about the car stuff with his dad and winter and stuff like that. And it's like, man, I feel that the winter stuff. If you live in Canada, if you especially if you live in Alberta, oh God, I swear to God, our weather, it's like our weather was programmed by somebody who doesn't know how to program anything and using old equipment to do so. Like, I swear to God, Alberta weather, it was programmed in Java. Cause it just makes no goddamn sense to anybody but the person who programmed it. Um, he talked about 7-Eleven, like people who work at 7-Eleven, fast food places and stuff like that. And I those are jobs that I think everybody should have at least for a little bit, because I have seen such asshole people treat them like such assholes. It drives me crazy when people do this. And I think if everybody got a job, even if it was just for a few days, just so that you knew exactly how it was to deal with these people, I feel like a lot of people would be a lot kinder. And then California, living in California. Yeah, if I lived in California, that would be my move, is buying people tickets to Disney. Is it Disney World or Disneyland that's in California? I don't remember. And like all that kind of stuff. Just like, yeah, you're going to come stay with me for a week? I bought you tickets. Go spend the day in Disney. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have fun. And now I have my place to myself again. And even when they come home, nobody's saying anything. Everybody's tired and sunburnt. It's shower in bed as soon as you're done one of those things. Like, seriously, just California, are you kidding me? California. You want to know what the weather's like in I can tell you what the weather is like in California. I don't even have to look at anything. It's hot and dry. That's what it is. You know what the weather's going to be like in California tomorrow? Hot and dry. You know what it's going to be like next week? Hot and dry. No wonder people think that Hollywood is controlled by lizard people. That is a joke, but not really. But yeah, I really miss Louie Anderson. He was, and like, he's clean. Like, that was a hilarious special, and he's clean. There's no F-bombs, nothing. And he was quick-witted. Actually, that was another thing. And I'll kind of leave it on this. I love the fact that he kind of did an inversion of standard comedy. The beginning of it, he was straight into his act and stuff like that. And then the end of it, the quote-unquote encore that he did, he was mostly doing like crowd work. And for most comedians will do the exact opposite of that. They'll come out, do some crowd work, get everybody kind of pumped and excited for the show, and then they'll start doing their actual material. Now, don't get me wrong, and especially, I love watching people doing crowd work. I love comedians doing, especially when it's good crowd work, because there is a huge difference between good crowd work and bad crowd work. And it is a thing that I will tell a lot of people when they say I want to start getting into stand-up. I tell people, while you're writing your material and stuff like that, take any little bits and pieces, things that aren't full jokes, just little responses, retorts, that kind of thing. Put those aside and keep those handy. And yes, this is kind of an in-your-brain thing, but, you know, when you're starting out, don't be afraid to bring a notebook up. Like, seriously, when you're starting off as a stand-up comedian, bring your notes with you. whether they're on your phone, on a piece of paper, flashcards, whatever the case may be, bring them up. Because, and I tell you, man, those little quick things that you can just draw from, they are lifesavers. And especially when you start getting good, solid material and you've been working on your crowd work at the same time and you're getting that good, solid material and somebody yells something out, those quick little retorts can be the difference between that one person yelling something out and derailing your whole set, and that one person yelling something out and heightening your whole set. That can be the difference. Just as an example, and this is years and years ago, I was doing a set, and I said something, and somebody was like responding to what I said, and I literally, and instantaneously, my brain just goes, you do realize just because you're involved now doesn't mean you're getting paid too, right? And I got a big laugh out of it, and I was not expecting, because my brain went complete autopilot. It was just like, say this, bang. And that's when you're doing stand up and when you're working on your crowd work and stuff like that, that kind of displays where your brain goes of, that is something that I've thought before, whether it be a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, years ago, and it just kind of pops out of your mouth before your brain even has a chance to kind of register that you're saying it. And that is, in my opinion, the epitome of good crowd work. And you could tell when he was doing his little bit of crowd work at the end that absolutely that was something that was pre-established. That wasn't improvised. That was him working on it. And I don't think it was a fully thought out bit. That was probably why he saved it as the quote unquote encore of his set. But I think all in all, it made for a nice little bookend at the end of it. And of course, we've all had to deal, like, I don't know about him, but when I was younger and I was a much heavier drinker, I was definitely far more able to handle my alcohol than a lot of my friends. And, which basically defaulted me to being the caretaker of many of my intoxicated friends. And I remember one night, and I know I already said I would leave it off at something, but I'm gonna do just one more little tidbit before I sign out here. But I remember one night, me and some friends went, and we were at another friend's place, and the other friend was hosting a keg party. And that was where, for me, the term, if somebody spills alcohol, the term that's alcohol abuse came from. Because people were sitting by the keg and they'd like spray it in their mouth and then they'd get it like all over their chin and all over the floor and stuff like that. And I'd be like, hey, that's alcohol abuse. Stop that. And, of course, being who I was, and I was spending the night at my friend's place, me, him, and another friend of ours who was also spending the night at his place, I basically had to drag them back to their place, which fortunately was not a very far distance to go. But when you're dragging two drunk idiots, named Mike and Curtis, oops, did I say that out loud? But when you're dragging two drunk idiots back to somebody's place, even if it's only a block away, which that was about how far it was, it's still a huge pain in the ass. So I get them back. His mom's happy that everybody's home safe and everything. And she starts offering us food. Now, I'm not hammered. I'm drunk, not hammered. The other guy who was spending the night, a little drunker than me, but also not hammered. The guy's house we were at was done. He was hammered. And she comes downstairs. And she's like, "Do you guys want anything to eat?" And I'm like, I'm kind of hungry, sure. And he's like, and she goes, "Do you guys like liver sausage?" And my response was, "Is that like liverwurst sausage?" And she's like, "Yeah." And the other guy who was spending the night was just like, "I've never even heard of that." And all of a sudden, the guy's house we're at just passed out of a dead stupor, that dead drunken stupor. Everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. All of a sudden just pops up and yells, "You're not a man until you've eaten liver sausage." And then back asleep. Well, that was a statement for sure. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining me today. This was a lot of fun. Like I said, first Thursday of every month until September, and then we're going to start doing this weekly. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I've been Jordy Coleman. You can call me Ginger Wolf. Always remember, don't do anything I wouldn't do. You should probably stay away from most of the things I would do. And until next time, take care and keep